Wrong. When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on them.
Well, that's not what I was told.
Then maybe you need a new lesson. Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata.
What?
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries. Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Yo, yo, yo. We are
Yo,
here.
yo,
Fets are here.
yo.
Yeah, Fets is here. Alright, yeah. We're chilling. We're chilling. Alright, fellas. We are back once again for another episode of the Clout Fets Show. I'm joined by the one and only, the Fetty Wap himself. How you on, Feds?
Yo. What is going on, my boy Clouter? How we doing, man? How we feeling
Oh,
today
good, man.
on this Monday afternoon, man?
Absolutely great, man. I just cracked a cold one to have with you.
Yeah.
And we're gonna shoot some shit, man.
Oh, let's
Shoot
do
some
it,
shit,
man.
man. Last week was absolutely nuts, man. We had a few big matches last week. I mean, you were just talking just before we unmuted, man, about how close all the standings are and stuff. Yo, what's up, Becto?
Backdoor.
Becto, what's up, brother?
Mr. Backdoor. Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to start off, I mean, we'll jump into to our matches last week. We had some of the big ones, I think, to note were, I guess, the OVO matches. I guess, like we talked about before we went on, OVO has become human so far to kick us off here.
Yeah. For the background knowledge, Seven is just moving. He's moving into his new place, so no Wi-Fi right now for him. And they're just trying to figure out a way to get their roster together here, at least for their young pointers, and try to figure out how they could compensate for the next couple of weeks, for the next couple of games. And let me tell you, I mean, it's me myself coming in to the game after an abysmal match against Stanford. Coming into against OVO is going to be another juggernaut match, and
That was a big 3-0 for you guys.
I just couldn't believe. I mean, it's Perk played Perk. Shout out to the Perkazoid, man. He went 15-3 on that S&D standoff.
Big S&D for you guys. You guys are struggling S&D. That's huge
Yeah,
for you guys.
we really needed that.
S&D for you boys against probably, well, it has changed a little bit, but probably the best hardpoint search team we had up until this point.
Yeah, and the Overload, and I think the Overload. Love that at Perk. Yeah, Perk dropped 50 EKIA on that map one to Colossus. I mean, Colossus is definitely Miami's best map. It's so fluid when I play with these guys, and I know Nuck was dealing with some bullet reg issues and the lag issues for the Chicago host. And let me tell you, I mean, as I'm gonna say this, as irritated Nuck can get. Man, we sure do know how to bring it back and lock it in, and it's such a good feature from Perk and Parks, because like Nook will wild out and then like it's silent for like 10 minutes and then we come right back in and then we just regroup and then play well. And I'm gonna tell you, like, shout out to my players, my teammates on Miami. I mean, it's so good to play with Perk again. Being former teammates on OVO.
Yeah, you guys had
just
a 1-1
it's
week,
great.
yeah.
And then first time playing with Parks, and Parks is just like Parks is kind of like the mediator too as well. Like Nuck could be getting a little shifty, and then like Parks is like, man, like he's like the good. It's a good cop, bad cop, kind of thing, and it shows really well. And shout out to these guys that play well. We standoff again was another interesting map too. Then the map 3 Exposure. Never really played Exposure. I think the second time I played Exposure, Overload. And I think it was just like if
3-0 is
yeah,
elite though, right? You're coming
if
in
we're
strong.
up, Nuck said if we're up, we're parking the bus. We're parking the bus. We're playing defense, and we're not pushing it. We're gonna hold the bomb and play keep away. And
Stanford had a big week as well. Did Stanford win both matches this week as well?
I'll double check. No, you're good. But I tell you what though, as I'm checking this, I tell you what. Shout out OVO. They're still the homeboys, man.
True.
That's what
but they are now human. We have now discovered that
they are human. They are human.
I mean, a big
they
0-2
are human.
week, a shocker probably a week for
Yep.
the super team though. Being 0-2, and it gives Stanford. I think Stanford wins 2 matches, and then I think they're first in the B division now.
Yep.
And Stanford did. We'll start with B.
Stanford did win their last 2 matches. They 3-0'd Miami and they 3-1 Paris. So
they are the juicy team to talk about here.
Yeah, they are juicy.
Pool B is standing. Yeah, with Stanford's 2 wins, they pull in front of OVO in the lead of Pool B now. So now they're leading the front. This Pool B looks super interesting, by the way, because I think Vegas went 1-1 this week, or did they also go 2-0?
Vegas.
They 3-0'd Absolute Rain
right now.
And so they also had a 2-0 week. So you know what's really crazy about this? I'm pretty sure last week when we were here, OVO was 7-0, and I think everyone here was 5-2, and I think everyone here has won all their games this week besides OVO.
Yeah,
so this makes this
Death Dealers was like
way easier.
4 and
What's up,
3, I
BT?
think.
Yeah.
BT, yeah, I think the Death Dealers stand. I mean, New Jersey. We looked at they were under 500. You know, talking about
Dude,
a couple weeks ago.
New Jersey. We'll get to New Jersey in a second because I mean they are definitely the hottest team in. I mean, outside of probably Stanford, who is looking really strong, and like your big hitters, like this New Jersey team is on the up and comings. From their 1-3 start, I mean 6 in a row, Feds, or 5 in a row, 5 wins.
Yeah, 5 in a row. I mean,
Fuck it, let's jump to it now. Let's talk to it now.
Let's talk about New Jersey right now.
Right now, man.
Listen, I'm gonna say this:
best S&D team in the league.
Best S&D team in the league by far. Not even close. There's 6
no
owing teams
in this CxP league. I am on it right now. If anyone can beat these guys in S&D, it's a tip of the hat to you.
I'm telling you right now,
unreal S&D.
I'm telling you right now, this team looks better than the BO6 Potato Los duo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that right now, dude.
Yep.
With Zorbs, and they have Relax in, and I'm not gonna say that. Another hot take here: Relax dropping from Paris to go to New Jersey, was probably the best move for him, and a great move for New Jersey. Both win-win right there.
You know what?
And
you
then,
know what though? I don't know if I probably said in an earlier episode, and it might have been for a different team. But I mean, man, the New Jersey Blackout is like they're like my underdog team. They're like that they're like that team. You know what I mean? Like I'm for them. You know, they're like my oh fuck, what is it now? They're like my sleeper team.
Yeah, they are.
I think New Jersey, man. If they win out this week, man, and end this major 8-3 off of 7 win streak going into the, whether if they're in pool play or they somehow make, because they can still clinch this. I see them having no issues coming out of pool play this week.
I honestly, I would have to mildly disagree. Unfortunately, I don't think they're a sleeper team anymore. I think they're a legitimate team. They're a top 5 team.
Yeah.
I really think that these guys. I don't think they're a dark horse. I think they're a legitimate horse.
I think they're there. I think they're legit.
I think you could mount the horse and ride that shit to the wind.
They have, I think as of last week, I didn't mean to call you off, Fits, but I think as of last week, we had OVO leading in S&D KD. As of this week, and I'll show it later on in the show as I was doing it this morning, New Jersey now leads in the S&D KD overall in the league. I mean, they're 9-2. Best win percentage. Only have dropped 2 S&Ds the whole major. Absolute.
I think New Jersey is on the come up here, and we always say it's a cliche, right? S&D wins you champs and chips and shit. Like, these guys have shown that they are the best S&D team, and they could bring you to map 5, and they could close you out in 3 maps. So I like New Jersey a lot in this pool. I would think they are going to win the next 2 games. I think they're going to be 8-3 after this week. I really do. I really think so. I think Las Vegas drops 2 or 4. Shout out Las Vegas though, keeping it alive.
This whole pool is I think this whole pool is scary.
Yeah, I mean, OVO beat Stanford 3-2 a couple weeks ago, and then OVO unfortunately dropping to Paris and then dropping to Miami again shows a little bit of humility and human qualities right there, and like you said, they are human, and unfortunately they are beatable. But right now, I still think they're strong. I think it just comes down to certain map pools for OVO, and I think that's what's going to be the biggest thing. But New Jersey, again, they got to play Paris and they got to play Miami. That's going to be.
I knew New Jersey's going through the ringer. I mean, they got to earn. If they win the bye, they're going to earn it because they have to go through you guys, and they also have to go through Paris, and those are 2 definitely top teams in the league right now. And I mean, just all the matches. I think OVO, as it stands of OVO, I know they're slacking, but I think this final week for them, outside of, I don't want to give Michigan an AR, but I mean, this looks like it should be light work for OVO. Seeing OVO and Michigan in Overload should be interesting.
That should be a crazy one because Michigan
I think OVO
top
Michigan could be a
2
good game. Yeah, I think OVO Michigan could be a sleeper match. I think Michigan might be able to take OVO. The way AR has been playing recently, I know Xavier is there, but I think OVO. I could see OVO having a 1-1 week. I think they can go 2-0, but I think they definitely need to win out here.
Yeah,
I think OVO can afford to lose.
OVO Michigan would probably be a closer match. I know Michigan losing Butcher to Kyoto is going to be the biggest telltale out of all because Butcher was really the guy on Michigan that is running you down, hitting the flank, playing that pressure sub role on Michigan. And right now, with losing Butcher, is going to be the biggest detriment to Michigan as it is. And I think that's going to be the biggest telltale of it all. Is can Michigan still win without Butcher?
Yeah.
And I really want them to still win it because they are a solid team. Again, they're the second best team in Overload, as of right now.
Dude, you know what else is gonna be crazy too? I just seen right underneath Michigan and OVO, we have Stanford and Michigan this week as well, which is gonna be another. Like, I want to see those boys banging out in Overload. And you know what though? The shock appeal I'll have if this game isn't like 2-1 or like 1-0, because both these teams are absolutely crazy in Overload. I'm pretty sure Michigan's 7-2. I think Stanford's 8-1 right now. We'll check that out in a bit. But
Dude, speaking of Stanford, I think Backdoor is like the best player in this league.
They're dominant in respawn right now.
It sounds insane. I'm not trying to. I'll sit here and glaze all day, but I think Backdoor is like the best player in this league, man.
Stanford right now, I think he's overall just
alongside like Gelato and like
Yep.
Splashy and Nuck and those. Like Backdoor is like, I feel like Backdoor since the start of BO7 has been on a tear, and I think Backdoor has elevated his game to where like I feel like he's in another realm of his own, along with like some of those 7-6 pointers. Like I think he's been taking a bit. He had since Gelato left Stanford, I think, but Backdoor has taken a bigger role, and he's just fit in very well, and I think he's been absolutely phenomenal. In Stanford
is
you know, so
respawn. If there's one thing that this Stanford team has a weakness is in search, and as everyone has always said in the college community, searches wins you championships. So, I'm not saying that their S&D is absolutely terrible. But I'm just saying that is if you're gonna find a weak point to this team, it's definitely in the S&D. Now, do I think they can clean it up in the next couple weeks? Absolutely. But like just that pool B in general, man, like OVO and Stanford are neck and neck right now. I mean, Stanford holds I think 3 maps over OVO right now. So for OVO they need to win out, and they need to make it swift 3-0s for both their series, and they need Stanford to at least get 3-0 somewhere here. But Feds, I mean, if you look at it, the pedigree between Stanford right now, and they play Michigan and AR right now. I don't know, man. Stanford might have the buy on lock, man. They
might have it. I think y'all. I agree. I think they win out here. If
it comes down to map count, I mean, Stanford already has a 3-map lead, so.
Skizzy, I'm still in the League 2, Gingo. Yeah, no, Skizzy again. He's a formidable player on Texas, and he dropped like 50 real.
Is it not map count? It's head to head. Oh shit, dog. Well, that makes a thing. Shit more.
Ooh, head to head. We're playing football here. Okay. But I gotta say, back to Skizzy. I mean, Skizzy is still an amazing player. I still think Skizzy, from the last match that he played, almost dropping, 50, 48 real, 50 real. He's still, again, he's up there. He's up there with those 6 and 7 pointers, and I think, if Texas, and going back to Texas, I think Texas, if they have any way of winning matches, they have to play Skizzy. If Skizzy doesn't play, then Texas does not win a single match, then Skizzy has to come out and play. But if it's head to head, it's a whole different.
It's definitely a whole different thing. But that's fine. We will figure that out, and I'll fix that. I also thought it was map count. I also thought it was map count.
Yeah, I thought it was map count too. But
if it's head to head, that makes sense too. I can get behind that as well.
He said himself, it's head to head. Oh, it's head to head. Okay, so we're changing it up a little bit. So,
all right.
This is the first time I've heard that it was head to head.
The standings due to our podcast will be relative to map count. So if that's incorrect, we apologize.
Okay. If it's head to head, that's a whole different
tech staff here, Fets. I tell you, it's crazy.
Wow, let me tell you, man. I think Stanford still wins out here in their matchups. OVO, Michigan, absolute rain. That's got to be a must win for both OVO, because I think OVO still wins those. It's just, it comes down to like Xavier on absolute rain. Can he keep up? Can those young pointers keep up with Brandon and Kato? I don't think they can. I think Kato and Brandon are a little bit better in terms of the young pointers compared to Ovio and Absolute Rain. But as of Michigan, again, Michigan is still missing one of their main pieces in Butcher. So I still think Ovio comes out 2-0 out of week 6. But
And if they
you know,
do, it don't matter. Then exactly, if it goes by head to head, then OVO goes 2-0, and then Stanford goes 2-0. Then yeah, OVO will get the bod just based off head to heads.
right, yeah,
Which,
because they 3-2 Stanford.
yeah,
So that makes sense. That makes sense.
out of the 4 teams in that Pool B though, to like I guess put a conclusion to Pool B. I mean, remember we're getting into Las Vegas. I suppose before we jump on to the next one. But like yeah, this is Pool B, and I mean jumping to Las Vegas, I guess would be a good point. I mean, in my opinion, if you're looking at this and how the standings have gone all season and how these teams play, I mean Stanford and Ovio have the easiest out of those 4 teams this week. I mean New Jersey and Las Vegas going through the ringer, playing Paris and Miami. Obviously, OVO losing their 2 matches to Paris and Miami last week. I mean, I don't know though, but like Las Vegas is also really good in respawn as well. I think they're also kind of sleeper team that a lot of people look past. I mean, obviously they're 6-4. Definitely really good hardpoint team. And they're just as good as respawn as well. So, uh, it could go either way here. I think I said it earlier, and I still mean it. I think every game that everyone plays in Pool B this week, it means something.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
can't
These
afford to
games
lose.
mean something. These games mean more than life right now for a lot of these guys. And um, like I said, for Paris, I love the Kane but Dat Boy duo. I mean, it was a thing. It was a thing when Reason was there, and it's still a thing without a Reason. I don't know how that even. I'll say this again. I don't know how that happened. And God damn it, say you don't want to play with Reason without saying you don't want to play with Reason. You know what I mean? That's the shit that pisses me off because it's like Reason or Relax Reese all in work. If Reese literally built that team in Paris, so it's like, and he went to New Jersey, and now Burke is kind of the new ownership of Paris, and I
Yeah,
still
Kane and that
like.
boy.
Yeah, can't. No, that's what I'm
And
saying.
that
Can't
boy's been
that
playing
boy.
unreal in the last couple of games.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like if that boy was on Las Vegas, then it'd probably be a different story. But then he left Las Vegas to go to Paris to team back up with Kane, and I think in my opinion, the fact that Reason went to New Jersey and gave ownership to Burke. Now Burke is kind of still figuring out the realms of being an owner. I think it was better for Reese to go do that, to go to New Jersey, and you know what I mean, and have Paris kind of still. I mean, Paris won last. They beat OVO, but they're 5-4. I mean, they're still tied with Michigan, right? I mean, Miami has a
Yeah, this Pool
2-game
D,
lead,
this Pool D isn't
so
like me and you
it's
talking about
like,
earlier. It's not this one here is not. Well, it's more for you guys. I think you guys have to win one more series. Now again, I everything I messaged you earlier was based off of map count, so I don't really know the head to heads. But I think if Miami wins one more series, like I said, and then Paris and Michigan have to win out in this pool.
Reese almost came to OVO Intel. That's insane. I mean, I
That would
thought
have been
I thought
crazy.
if Reese went to OVO, I think OVO is beating a lot of these teams that they're losing to, and um, you know, it's just crazy to me. I still think Paris is still a formidable team. I think they're still in my
Oh,
top five
100%.
of
100%.
because it's that boy and Kane, right? But
That boy's been playing
it's
unreal
like,
in the last couple weeks, man. He had that big week with Las Vegas, and then he left Vegas and went to Paris, and he's still putting up numbers. He's still putting up huge
yeah,
numbers.
yeah,
And
Reese is great.
for
I
Paris and Michigan, they have to win out. So having that boy and Kane
yeah, they got to win out.
on the same wavelength, they have to win out, and they need to hope for Miami to lose out this week. But
That boy
uh,
can't win without Kane. I agree. I agree, Seven. I agree. I think that boy and Kane has to be there. They have to play. If they don't play, then
yeah,
or they don't. If they have a bad series, they have a fluke or whatever it
but I
is.
think
They are not
also
there.
Miami and Paris have the same matches this week, so those are going to be crazy matchups for both those guys. Because I think they both
Hmm.
play New Jersey and Las Vegas, and I mean on the other side of that pool, Las Vegas and New Jersey aren't teams to sleep on either. So it's a super tough week for both
Right.
those teams because I mean if Miami can sneak one by, I think they can. But obviously, with how hot New Jersey and Las Vegas has been in the last couple weeks, Miami, and I mean Miami's hot as well, right? They're one of the top teams in the league right now. Having the 7-2 record. Hardpoint and Overload, they're up there for top teams. Still struggling in the S&D a little bit, and like we can get into that when we talk about our power rankings in a bit.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, I think Miami and Paris have the tougher week out of that pool than Michigan. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
I think Michigan's actually in depths when they're going up against OVO and Stanford. Actually, so
Yeah, I mean
actually,
they're the
I
depths.
think
They're
that
the
whole,
depths.
I think that whole, this whole league. I mean,
The only
AR.
thing,
I think AR is confirmed for pool play now. I don't think even if they do win out, they make even a chance to come even close to Miami's record right now. So I think AR is confirmed. There's one of the first teams tonight that we'll announce here that is definitely confirmed for pool play. I think Paris and Michigan still have a chance, but they have to win out, and I think Miami has to lose
mhm.
out, and then it gets really interesting there if it's for head to head as well on top of map count. So
Yeah, and I was say, I mean, yeah, for OVO, like I said, like Seven's not there. Their main roster is not fully there. They had the sub in Gara last night. They're trying to figure out a way. They just signed Forgotten, I believe, who is a 1-pointer. Forgotten is a young pointer that can hold spawns and anchor, and I think that's what they need a little bit because I mean, last night I was flipping all over the place. I was going. I mean, I was at Colossus. I was at blue, then yellow, and blue, and then yellow again. Like it was insane. So, it was back and forth. I think Forgotten is also a good piece. I think that's a good AR player.
yep, oh,
I
100%.
think that's a young player. So I think that's
He's only like a 0-1 pointer. He put up big numbers in the last couple weeks as well. I meant
yeah.
to
So
mention
I
him as
think I
well. So
think
he's a
that's a
good
good
pickup for
pickup.
any team. Yeah, yeah, hundred
It's
percent.
a very good pickup. He will listen to what you guys need, and I think that's what OVO
That's what you need
needs. He
out
needs
of a low pointer. Yep.
he needs that, and I think Forgotten can set up. He's not the greatest. He is a young pointer, but he can set up where you need to be, and I think that's the best thing that you can get
Yep.
out of Forgotten. For OVO. And OVO right now is just got to figure out their roster, and I think that's the most important thing right now for them.
Yep.
And so,
But
but
looking on the other
like
side of like Pool D as well, like what would you think? I mean, AR now has already confirmed for pool play. So what do you think their path is here from here on out? Because we get to see another interesting matchup that I'm kind of excited to see this week. We get to see Xavier versus Splashy this week as well.
yeah, that's got to be a match of the week just because of the rival 6-pointers right there. I think that's what you got to watch for.
Two sevens, I
I
think, isn't
still
aren't they both sevens? And isn't Splashy and Xavier sevens?
I thought Splash is a 6.
I don't know.
Splash is a 6.
Someone will confirm in a second. Maybe it's
Yeah,
two six
Splashy
pointers.
is a 6.
Okay.
Splashy is a 6. 7 is a 6. Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
I like to see the matchup because Xavier's always fun to watch. I think this AR. I think the difference between OVO and AR with how they've built the rosters, and like you said, I think OVO's depth is a little more. Um, there's a lot more
I mean,
depth in OVO than there is on the side of
yeah,
AR. And I mean, that's no offense to the lower pointers over on AR, but it just don't seem like that. Xavier is getting a click with his lower pointers as Splashy is with his. You know what I mean? We have the Splashy Kato duo on the side of OVO, and
yeah.
I
I
think
think
you
no,
have
I
Xavier
agree.
and the Stubbler. Now shout out Stubbler. I
Well,
love Stubby.
that's
But
that is so true. Shout out fucking Stubbler because that's like I think Stubby has played better in this game than he's played in the last title. And I'm
exactly.
telling you that right now. I'm a big fan of Absolute Rain. I'll put that.
I am too.
I'll buy a jersey
Shout
if
out to
I
the Stubbler
could.
for having three teams in all three leagues. I'm pretty sure he has a team put
And
in all three leagues. Absolute
Stub
Rain is
has
here.
been, yep, D League and in the main league. He has been putting in work, and I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Absolute Rain. But like I said, I think Chevy says it best. He needs help. David needs
Yep.
help, right?
And I
And I
don't know how
think,
that's
but
gonna come into
that's
pool
the
play. Like,
common.
okay, so here's my
Yeah,
question to you: Is
yeah. Talk to me.
do you think these guys get out of pool play? Like, are they in that kind of territory? And we're gonna talk about that in a bit, like towards the end of the show today. But I
Um,
mean, do you
this
think they
week
make
is
it out
gonna
of
be tough.
Do you make it out of pool play? I mean, they're confirmed for pool play. So like, there are two
Listen,
matches this week. I mean, if I'm Stubler, I mean, this week roster's locking
when you say
take an
confirmed
hour.
for pool play, what do you mean? Like they
Well,
are
they can't come up and clinch to get the bracket because you know how every team, like everyone who's in first gets a
right.
bye,
So they got to
right?
play
Yeah,
the play in.
they got
They
to
got to
play
do
the
the
play
play
in.
in.
Yeah, they're confirmed for
Okay,
the play in
so
because Michigan and Paris
think
can still come past you guys. I'm pretty sure. Now that
I
depends how
think
the head-to-heads go, but
here's my take. I think Butcher leaving Michigan to go to Kyoto allows Absolute Reign to branch out a little bit more because
Well,
now
roster's locking an
Mich-
hour, so I mean, I don't know if there's any moves
right.
are coming, so it's hard
So
to say
I
too,
don't
right?
right. I think Jude was it Jude, Dark, Stubby, and those guys.
And
I
think so.
think they gotta bring a little bit more for Xavier. I don't think Xavier has played. I think Xavier's been playing well, but I don't think he's been playing to the standard that you and I have seen him play to. My thing is with Butcher
Colin, for what you just said, because I'm pretty sure you're assuming that your Stanford's on top. We've had
with
the news come in
Butcher,
that it's head to head. So OVO is technically still first right now.
but with
That's
Butcher
what's take
leaving
on
Michigan, I
my
think
end.
Absolute Reign. Listen, if Absolute Reign has to win tonight. We got to watch how they play against OVO,
Yeah.
right? Like
I think
that's going to be the biggest thing.
This is just a. I think if
This week is a big
AR,
test.
yeah, if AR loses it this week, I think they take it with some knowledge. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just take it, and move on. You're like, all right, what can we improve on here before pool play?
Right.
Because obviously you want the wins. Obviously every team wants to win. I'm not saying go out there and lose, but you know, if they win out, I mean, they go 6-5. I mean, you guys are 7-2, so I mean, even if they win out, they're not going to pass you guys and win loss anyways. So they will be in pool play for sure. Now, like I said, obviously Minneapolis and Toronto are also confirmed. They were confirmed probably since
I think
last week.
I think Absolute Reign makes it a pool play. I think they become the bottom team in the bracket.
It's gonna be interesting to see what pool they're in.
I believe so.
I want to see what pool
I
they're in.
believe so. Because and then by the way, shout out
Because obviously on the left hand side of our screen, I didn't mean to cut you off, but obviously on the left
you're
side
good.
of our screen, obviously 3 of those teams in Pool B will also be in pool play, and I would put money on it that all 3 of the teams, whoever plays in pool play in Pool B, like whoever has to play the play in Pool B, they're all making it for sure.
No, 100%.
Right, so I can see all these teams playing in the bracket. They're definitely going to be top 8, top 6 teams heading into the finals right now. I mean, they're just hot right now. And obviously for Pool D, Miami, we got Nuck, and Fets and the boys. They're obviously 7-2. I think they're a series win away from clinching the bye, and they don't even they'll have a week off next week. But Paris and Michigan are definitely hate watching this week 100% on Miami, because if Miami I think wins one series, it's it for Paris and Michigan. And I think that just closes out Pool D. I think I've lost the Fetty Wops. He's disappeared.
No, I was grinding up
you're
some
chill?
weed.
Okay.
I'm chill.
Okay.
So no,
You're like
so
we're
so
slowly like getting further away from your mic. I didn't know where you were.
no, you're good. I was looking for the 8th. So
But yeah, I think looking at 2 of these pools, man, there's a lot of good teams here, a lot of good matchups we're gonna get into next week. I mean, next week too. I mean, I know there's probably some people here now, a lot of people here now that are usually here every week, but next week obviously will be the pool play review from me and Feds. So
I'm just saying.
those are the juicy ones that everyone enjoys watching.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we get into depths about it, and you know.
Dude, next week's gonna be juicy. Like we're
The next
getting
couple weeks will be
juicier
juicy,
as we
man.
go.
We're in playoff
But-
mode, bro. We're soon gonna be in
But
playoff
I'm
mode,
saying
brother.
bracketology is gonna come in. We're gonna have special guests on next week. We're gonna be loving it. But I'm saying right now, Michigan losing Butcher is a big deal. I think Absolute Reign overtakes them. I'm just saying that right now, and that's what I'm gonna say that right now. Because
Yeah, I think that has
because
to do with seeding too. I think their placements will have to do with seeding. I'm not too sure how that works. That's something for me to talk to the upper table about and how the seeding works.
Hell yeah.
But obviously, we'll know next week what pools they all get in. So I don't know how that will go, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what pool AR is in. I like to see what matchups they're gonna have next week too for pool play.
Yeah, but I like Absolute Reign coming out of pool play. I think they're gonna be the bottom bracket team. I think Michigan loses out, unfortunately, because of the certain. But I think Butcher was a big deal for Michigan, and that's all I would say. I mean, for that pool, and then of course, obviously in pool A pool. Was it C or whatever for OVO?
Which one? Pool B.
The OVO
It's B and
pool
D.
B.
B and
B&D. I think B. I mean, like right now, Stanford and I mean, I think Stanford's the best team right now in the CxP.
Yep,
And
100%. And I think
OVO is just trying to figure out roster stuff.
Yeah, and I think to roll off what you just said, I think that's just the perfect time to before we jump into pools A and C and we give our takes on them. I think we'll cut right into the power rankings of the week. A lot of movement. I've noticed today when I was doing it up for me and you, our power rankings that are sponsored by our stats. Shout out to our stat team, which is consistent of just me.
Hey, my man, Clouter. That's why I love Clouter, man. He be,
Nah, Fets
he be
Fets helps
killing
out
it, man.
with some, I don't know. Fets is just there. Fets is
I
there
don't
for
help
moral
out at all.
support.
I just come out. I just
Your
come out.
moral support.
You know that meme where it's like I did my part. I didn't
Yeah.
do fucking shit. Like no, it's all Clouter. That the stats that come from the podcast is all Clouter. I come here and just kind of bounce off Clouter as much as I can. But
Well, man, you're
Clouter
gonna
is
look at this,
really
and
the main
me and you are
guy.
gonna get into depths because we're gonna have some interesting teams on this power rankings for this league list, obviously. So here we go.
I need another tutorial on how to do the stats again.
I will.
That's
I will.
that's
I will tee
that's
you up.
basically. Well, but we're also going to get into the other pools, correct?
Yeah,
Just wanna
we'll
make
jump into
sure.
the other pools after
Okay.
this. We'll go to A and C after this.
So, Clouter,
missed
you
that
got
point.
this, man.
I
This
think
is
you were ripping it anyways. No, I'm gonna have your take on this, man. You can see it on screen now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got Stanford overtaking the first overall seed in Hardpoint with 11-3. Obviously, having a 78.6 win percentage. I think the big one here, Feds, is OVO dropping down 3 spots, jumping from the first spot right down the 4.
Huge.
I mean, they're 0-2.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off. Can we all appreciate this graphic from Clouter? I mean, No, hold on. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely. The man got the arrows going up and down. Clouter is literally the fucking goat, dude. This man knows. I mean, shout out Clouter, dude. This is
Hey, man, we
so
just loved it, man.
so amazing. This is outstanding, phenomenal work. I need to be involved way more in this, man. But dude, go ahead, Clouter. This
Nah,
is
man.
incredible.
Yeah, obviously, I think the big takers you see here is OVO dropping down their 3 spots to 9-4. Obviously, they were 9-2 last week, and obviously with the 2-3-0 losses they had, obviously dropping to 9-4. I still think they lead. I think they lead overall in KD right now with a 1.09, but I think with the 2 losses they had, they slowly dropped. Stanford, I think taking that high. I mean, 11-3. I mean, you can't even argue with that, Feds. I mean, 11-3 in hard points so far this season with 78.6 win percentage with a 1.08. And obviously New Jersey and Dallas Abyss coming up the ranks. Obviously Dallas Abyss for where they're 3-1. Obviously I'm counting their records and stats based off of that team since the move. Didn't combine it with New York. New York is completely separate. So yeah, Dallas coming up with a 3-1 record so far in the 2 weeks they've played so far. 75% win percentage, 1.02. So is there anything here, Fitz? Do you see that's interesting?
There's 3 things I'll say right now. Off the rip is going to be OVO dropping 3. So I think that's the issue that I have. That's 1. 2. Miami is still at number 2. And I'm not saying that's an issue. I'm just saying it as a player POV, thinking like, damn, how the fuck are we still 10-3 at our point?
You guys
And I
didn't move
think
though.
that-
You guys didn't move though.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we just chill. We just be chilling at hardpoints. Like we're a top 3 team in hardpoint. And I think interestingly enough, I think that's because like I'm gonna just say something. When I lay down on the hill, I like the stuff. I watch the kill feed and all that stuff. I do my best. but
Another thing I need
these
to figure out,
guys,
though, like for me and you,
Nuck, Perk, and Parks, they do their thing in the backfield, man. They do everything, man. And I don't even know rotations in half the map. So that's the funny part. So I think the 76.9% win percentage is impressive still
I mean,
for
you guys
Miami.
are 10-3 in hardpoint. I mean, you guys are who?
And then here's the other thing. I'm a little concerned for Toronto dropping to 8, but here's the cool thing. And actually, I'll give you two more. There's the first thing is what did I tell you last week about New Jersey? Right? I said we're gonna see probably New Jersey coming up here.
New Jersey, I think,
right?
had one of the worst
So-
hardpoint records when at the start of the season, and the
Oh my
fact that they're
God.
7-7 right now with a 1 KD, they
Yeah.
have bounced back so much, man.
Yeah.
It's like if
Yeah, I
I
mean,
had
they're right
screenshots
there.
of our stat sheet like every week, I'm pretty sure like at
Yeah.
one point New Jersey was like 2-6 in hardpoint. And
Yeah,
for them to
they
be
are
7-7
right
right
there, man.
now. If there was a way, I'm not doing split stats because that'd be crazy. But if there was a split stats of like what they were in the last like 5 games they played, I guarantee you, I think they're probably their hardpoint record probably be like 7 and would be like.
I think they're
5-1.
hard. Yeah, they're a second half team.
Yeah.
Clouder. They're coming up. They are coming up. Be aware of New Jersey. The
Yeah,
Zorbs
like I said.
Los duo is legit. It's legit.
Yeah.
So just be aware for that. And then
Definitely our-
having
definitely our
reason
hardpoint
and then
power
having
ranks for the
reason.
week. I
those guys, yeah.
think other shoutout teams I should have.
Los is
Detroit.
a
I should
6,
shout
right?
out Detroit. Detroit's definitely on the up and ups right now. I think they just missed out on this list this week. I was
Close
kind
as
of
a
just on.
5.
Who
That's
else missed out on?
that. I mean, I also the same thing. I mean, it's just the same thing for Nuck sometimes. But like Perk is playing really well. I think it depends. I think it's a map pool
Yep.
issue. I don't think it's. I don't think it's a player thing. Some players just really come alive. Last week, I dropped a .37. Over here, I'm dropping a .78. I'm just saying that's a whole. That's it. Just the numbers. It's not glorious numbers. They're not great numbers, but when you look at the numbers, it's a .37 to a .78 is a pretty big difference. Whether you're dropping a .89 at a perk into a 176 or whatever he dropped, right? Like
Yep.
it's certain things like that, right? Like you got to look at because it's not always the team that you played. It's not always the the map pool. The map pool is a big thing too. We didn't play Scar.
No.
So I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? So like there's certain things
I
you
think
gotta
next
look
week
at.
too,
But
when we do pool play, when we go into the pools, I'm gonna take because the other part of our stat sheet that's like the maps. I'm gonna bring in the maps. I think next week too, because that'd be cool to look at.
oh hell
too.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I'm
That'd be
saying
cool
like
to look at
Clouter,
too.
it's like did you take a nap before the match? Did you shoot bots before the match? Did you go out and have a couple beers with your boys and you came back and played the game? Right?
Multiple
Like
times.
did you just get on? Did you right? Did you come home from work and you just got in a game and you're still in your work?
What are you talking
Right.
about right now? Like low key, like wait, I totally missed. What are you mentioning right now? Like,
No, I'm saying like for in terms of players playing really well lately.
oh yeah,
and
yeah. It's all
playing
about yeah,
and
yeah,
either
yeah.
right like Perk like had a .89 and then now has a ridiculous KD against OVO, right? Or so New Jersey has had consistent numbers with Los and Zorbs, right? Like certain things like that. Or like even Nut kind of still in the same kind of KD that kind of smells like a 5. Like things like that is like interesting to me to see. This back though had a 187, a 186 against OVO and sorry, not OVO, Paris. I think they played Paris last week. And then now this week I think back so those are the certain things when you look at
Yeah.
it's not it's like it's not all the time. People just play better at certain times, man. That's just how it is. It's a timely thing, and I think that's why we see New Jersey coming up here, and we see Miami still sitting at a number 2, right? And
Yeah.
then I think the last thing I have for this is really Las Vegas went up.
How do you move
I
up
think
one?
that's important. I think that's important though.
Yeah.
So I think that
Yeah.
I still think they won it. They have a 1.03. They're not sitting ducks here at hard point.
No.
Right?
No,
I
they're
think
coming up in the hard point.
like
And then
even after
S&D, we got
that
a
boy
lot of
left,
movement over
right?
here as well. I didn't mean to jump on from the hard point talk, but yeah, for S&D though, there's a lot more movement here. Obviously, New Jersey moved up, another one as well.
Right.
Obviously, like we talked about earlier, with a 9-2 win and loss, 81.81% win percentage, 1.10 KD. I mean, they're plus 17 in rounds 4, and they've won 4 round 11s.
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
fucking crazy out of the
Yeah,
New Jersey
I mean,
team though.
and they don't have the New Jersey is just they're the best. They're the best S&D team here, man. I think the coolest thing right here is this Las Vegas is moving up, and you have
Las
Paris
Vegas has moved
moving
up
up.
as well, and Paris moved up as well. I mean, again, OVO with another big drop. I mean, with 2 3-0 losses, I mean, you're going to expect to see some down. How tight all these teams have played so far this year. As you can tell, like even if you look at their power rankings right now with the records, obviously based off the records, win percentage, KDs, obviously the plus minuses as well, tried to as well, and then with the round 11 wins as well, because that's a big clutch factor in some of these, Like New Jersey being
Right.
able to clutch 4 out of their 9 games right now in round 11 is huge to know.
Yeah, they're a great team.
Paris
They
being
are
plus 11 in round difference. I mean, plus
complete
12
team.
in round difference from Vegas. I mean, you can't argue but to say that those 3 are your top 3 S&D teams right now, because the boys just know how to get it done. They win more rounds than they lose right now. So they know how to play S&D a little bit more. But yeah,
I think Las Vegas is the biggest thing here too.
yep,
Am I
no,
wrong?
100%. They had a huge week. No, I
Yeah,
agree too.
they had a
Shocker to come
great.
up.
I
Moving up
think
3 spots.
I think Tuna and Benji and Mike just self out, but I still think they stay
I think
up
the
here.
duo and Benji and Tuna. I think Benji's set on him and Tuna as that core duo in Las Vegas,
Yeah,
and they're going to build around that, and it's working as of the last couple weeks.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, your 4, 5, and 6 are dropping down, and those are kind of like your more top teams. OVO. I mean, Detroit is really, I guess, 2 out of the 3. OVO and Stanford kind of just being in that mid tier for S&D. because OVO was, we all know, even OVO has that S&D prowess for in their pedigrees, and then now you have, I mean, New Jersey just absolute spike. Paris doing really well, figured it out. I mean, they've always been a solid S&D team, and then Las Vegas, I mean, jumping up big, and I think, like I said, that plus 12 is insane. I mean, we know New Jersey is plus 17 is actually on a whole nother tier, but that plus 12 is disgusting for Las Vegas for round differential, and
Yeah.
they are. I think Las Vegas is more of a sleeper team than New Jersey, and I think that goes back to my other point where someone had said, I forgot who was in chat, that said New Jersey's a sleeper team.
Yeah, I think some notable things here that haven't made the list though in S&D that I made note to make note of is that Toronto and Miami. Toronto has the third highest KD in the S&D right now with a 1.09. I'm pretty sure. I have to double check.
Mhm.
They have a 4-7 record, and Miami being fifth has the fifth highest KD right now, and they also have a 4-6 record. So both those teams have a negative records, but still managing to get kills on the map, but just can't figure out how to close the door, I guess, in their S&Ds. I know for a fact Toronto will, and obviously we'll get into that a little when we talk about Toronto and Pool A. But yeah, and same thing we talked about earlier with Miami. You guys are elite in respawn, but the S&D you just can't seem to.
We're not even here. We're
Yeah,
not
you can't
even
figure it
like,
out. But yeah, no, I think the
and
shockers out of this week's ranking. I didn't mean to cut you off again, but obviously having Dallas and Bermuda come up in the thing. Bermuda, I think Bermuda is the big one to focus on him. They're cracking the top 8 list for S&Ds.
ooh, yeah.
A big shout out to them. Because in every other game mode they're slightly towards the bottom. So they kind of have that New Jersey resemblance late into the year where they only know how to play S&D, but if they can figure out how to do respawns, Bermuda can slowly start working their way up the ranks as well. But I think right now, respawns is the problem with Bermuda, and obviously we'll talk about that later in the show when we get towards pools A and C, and same
I'll
with
say
Dallas.
this.
But yeah, just some other things to note. Like it's like saying something to mention like they Las Vegas jumping up 3, and then Dallas and Bermuda entering the top rankings this week as well for S&D.
I just hope Bermuda just stays on the team. That's a cool name, and I think they gotta stay. I think EXO
I
and the
think EXO
boys
got
got
something
it
there, man.
something.
They're fun to watch
They
too,
have
man.
something, right? I think they got something. But
They have something there.
I agree.
And they got the dedication
Absolutely.
too, man. Those boys are like scrimming like 2 or 3 times a week too. Like I always see them looking for scrims. So
For sure.
even though the boys are struggling, they got the mindset to
Oh, yo,
bounce
and by
back.
the way, scrims. Sorry, Clout. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off,
you're
but
good. You're good.
it's talk about scrims. Miami. If you guys are fucking there, let's fucking get a scrim in, boys. What the fuck are we doing? Come on. Let me lock in.
And
Let
then
me
we'll
scrim
jump right
OVO for
over
a
to
little
Overload.
bit.
Overload's gonna get interesting once again. Obviously, we got Stanford
Let's get it.
taking the top
Let's
of
get
the
it.
rankings here in Overload with an 8-1. Obviously, only lost one Overload game. And they have a 1.16 KD, which is the highest, obviously, in the league right now in Overload, and a 3.9 points per game and a +9. Following right behind him is Michigan. Obviously, the fun thing is, like we mentioned today, is that Michigan and Stanford play this week. So obviously, we're going to see will Michigan give Stanford an L, we'll give them their second L in Overload, or will Stanford just continue to roll through teams here and go maybe 9-1 or 10-1 after the last week's matches. Obviously, I think a big one here to point on is Texas jumping up 4 spots. Obviously, being 6-3 with a 1.11. They have the second highest KD in Overload right now with a 4.3 points per game, and obviously a +16, highest plus minus in the league right now. Obviously, after this week, I'm pretty sure they won 7-0 and 7-2 in both their Overload games. Crazy games. Definitely inflated the absolute fuck out of their stats. And me and Fets will obviously jump into pools A and C shortly and talk about this because this is definitely much to talk about. Anything you see here, Fets, that's super interesting to you?
Biggest thing, I think Texas is top 3. I think that's the craziest thing I have ever seen so far in these episodes. If you told me Texas Rattlesnakes were going to be a top 3 Overload team in the
I mean, to be fair though, weeks 1 and 2, we were saying that they only knew how to play Overload. So I mean, they still had those, and then they had a little win. But it seems like Overload is just their mode.
The Stanford being 1 is not a. I already knew that. I think I might have. I'll say this. I might have like hinted at that at some point in the VC at some point like last night. I don't know. Who knows? I don't think I think Stanford. We all knew that they were already a great Overload team since episode 1, and I think they were not gonna touch. They were not gonna skip a beat, and I think them being 1 is fine. But Texas Rattlesnakes being a top 3 with Michigan. I mean, look at this look at the overload map itself, and look at the mode, and these are your top 8. Like that to me, I think is the most interesting. If we're playing Control, I bet you we have different teams. I bet you we have different
Oh,
teams, right,
100%.
Clout?
Oh, 100%.
But
If
we're
this-
talking
Man,
Overload.
I love Overload, bro. Best
Stanford.
thermal by
Okay,
far.
Stanford makes sense. That's totally fine, right? Michigan and then Texas. That is the number one
Those
thing
are the
I'll say
random
about.
ones, right? Because if you look at Hardpoint and S&D, they're
Like,
like
that is it.
mid to lower bottom in the other modes. But when I don't know, man, with this Overload, these teams just click and get it. I mean, you can't even argue with though, Fence, because
I'm scratching
I
my
mean
head.
they have plus 15, plus 16 goal differential. Like they score 15 more points more than they get scored on. Same with Texas. They score
Right.
16 more points than what they get scored on. So you can't deny that, they don't deserve to be up here. But like, man, it seems like that this is their mode.
And then and Toronto moving up is great. I think they are starting to click on that
won
overload.
both their overloads this week. Obviously had a big
Um,
one against Detroit. Beating Detroit, who also was on the
Yeah.
up and ups. Obviously they went down in power rankings this week. A few of their
Detroit
overload
will
matches this
definitely
week
be
were a
moving
little
up.
shaky, but nonetheless, I think Detroit's still a top 5.
Oh yeah, Detroit
overload
will
team.
make it out of pool play. They will make it. They
100%.
will be in the bracket. I promise
100%.
you, Detroit. After the last couple of days, Detroit will be in bracket play. They will be there. I promise you that. I think also New Jersey is there. They moved up, but also Miami going down, and again, Vegas is in every stat. Vegas is here
coming
every
up.
day.
Yeah, they're here, man.
If you're
in the last
consistent,
couple weeks, they're coming up and winning games, man. And they're winning games big. And
you're
I mean,
no
to
less top 6.
have a 4
right?
have a 4.3 points per game. I mean, you're averaging over 4 points a game. You have a +4. You have 4 more goals than you do scored on. Another
Right.
thing I'll touch on here too is before we keep moving on is that Michigan currently leads the league in total points with 40. Texas is second with 39 touchdowns, I guess we can call them, and then Toronto with 37, and then New Jersey and Stanford are tied at 4th with 35.
Wow, that's insane, dude. That's absurd. I would, like I said, you wouldn't have expected. I mean, dude, look at the plus 15, plus 16, Michigan and Rattlesnakes for goals.
It's crazy to see. Now, if you want to know what's on the opposite side of the table, Bermuda holds the bottom with -19, and Kyoto holds bottom second with -18.
What? That's insane.
Yeah,
Which is
they
need help.
They don't know what defense is. Defense completely is out the window for Bermuda and Kyoto, but obviously you can tell the defense for Michigan and Texas are there. Obviously with the plus 15, plus 16 goal differentials, no one scores. Yes, you maybe heard right. Minus. It is minus. There's
minus.
A few
minus
teams
19.
that got a lot of minus, man. There's a lot of people that get scored on an overload, man.
Like I said, like this is not control.
That's what I mean.
It's
score differential. Yeah.
Score differential. Score differential. Minus 19. Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Like they are getting dunked on.
Yep.
Like they're LeBron. They're getting LeBron.
Which I think goes
like,
to me and Tex's point of how shocked some people might
absurd.
be to see Michigan and Texas on this list. Like you look through a hard point in S&D and you kind of see the same, and then obviously when you come to Overload, you see some of those same teams. Then you see Texas and Michigan into the mix, and then you see their.
That's what I don't understand.
I mean, Texas is second with
dude.
Overload.
Miami
right
has
now
a plus 10. Look at 88 and over 77. Their win percentage. They win 10% more of their games. Not even to mention +9. Look at Michigan and Texas. That's the fucking thing I don't understand. Like that's the shit where I'm like,
4.5
I'm fucking
points
throwing
a
my
game,
mic and I'm like, fuck this shit. This is insane. Like this is I don't fucking understand.
Texas running? I don't know. They've changed up a few times over the year, and I think
I
obviously
don't
now
understand.
with
I don't get it. Michigan
with the post that
Texas.
posted up yesterday with roster locks, hopefully we'll be able
we're
to.
expecting the same teams to just lock in, and they're Michigan and Texas. Those are the teams that are getting to the bottom tier. Besides Michigan, maybe Texas. Texas wins overload, but they can't smell a fucking S&D. They can't sniff out a HB. Like that's the shit that I don't understand. Maybe they play a lot of football. Maybe they're just there. I don't know. I don't.
They're running. They're in the.
They understand it more.
The booth box, man. They're just fucking
like they're just in the weight room, just fucking like I don't fucking know, dude.
Going.
Yeah, like that's the shit I don't understand. Yeah, they're in the film room. Like I don't get that. Like,
but
that's
anyways,
the shit I can't understand.
to round that off,
But-
though, folks, that's definitely our power rankings of the week. Obviously, a lot of changes went around over the last weeks. Obviously, next week we'll put more up. Obviously, Dallas is starting to work their way up, and it's cool to see that I got the seeing the arrows and stuff how it goes up is cool too. Even for
Dude,
me.
shout out to Clouter with the fucking graphics, man. That's insane, man. That is so beautiful. God
Yep.
damn.
Oh,
We
that
were
boy! I
out
see
there.
that boy in chat. What's up, that boy? We gave you your glaze earlier, bro. You got so much
Oh,
glaze earlier.
yeah, glue is here.
Yeah, you
Hell
missed
yeah.
it, that boy. We gave you your
Yo,
glaze earlier. We're
yeah.
jumping on.
No, we're
and
still
then-
here.
Yeah, we're still here though. We'll still give you your glaze later, but I think that
I think
means
we
we'll move
still-
on to obviously pool A and C, which would be the next two pools
Yep.
that me and Fets haven't. You know what, Fets? Which one do you want to start off with here? You take it away.
I gotta do pool A.
Pool A. All right, give us the rundown.
I got him. So Toronto had a tough start, unfortunately. I think they've had a tough break. It's been rough.
It's a mid-season.
But
You know.
I think they pulled together. The pedigree is there for Toronto Frost, and I think they still have it there. I think they will get things sorted out. And I believe they haven't used BT. That is the most insane thing I have not seen.
We have.
We have.
We
have.
we,
But
we are 1-1 on the week. When we played
We need to-
Detroit, we had BT for the Detroit series. It was a 3-1 dub. Cope
That's what
wasn't
I'm
there
saying.
for the
I
first
think
two
you
matches.
utilize BT. You gotta utilize BT as
The
much.
thing
as
with
you
this
can.
Toronto Frost roster for obviously this week, the last few matches, with the starting roster that is in plan of myself, Cope, BT, and G Baby, we are undefeated as a squad so far. Obviously, we've had to use a lot of subs in our matches this week, which is unfortunate in the matches we played. But hopefully, the Toronto board is hoping to have their full starters play in both matches this week against Bermuda and Tijuana, because it's obviously big games in Pool A. Because Pool A is getting a lot more tighter than a lot of the other pools right now, and it's mostly a shitter pool since all teams are negative. But looking at it right now, I mean, Minneapolis is another team that's going to be playing in the play-in next week. They unfortunately won't get the bye. They won't have the wins to catch up to Toronto. Obviously, if they win out, they'll only tie us. But obviously, if it's head-to-head, obviously we'll stay ahead of them. Kyoto and Texas are interesting ones here. Obviously, they have to win out this week. I think if we take one game, maybe two, we're pretty much clinched as well. Toronto will clinch their bye into the bracket play in 2 weeks' time. And that would force Texas and Kyoto. But like the way Texas has been playing the last couple weeks and their overload, I mean, Texas could also make a dent here too and catch up to Toronto too, which would be kind of crazy, in my opinion. Right?
Well, here's the thing. I love that analysis. I think Kyoto again adding Butcher to the team is gonna add some shake. Texas. I don't know much about Texas. The point where I
They've
think
made a few roster changes in the last couple weeks.
they made a few stuff. I think they're still there to play, but I think Kyoto adding Butcher is gonna be the biggest. Like that's like to me, like
I think another thing we
Kawhi
have to mention about for Kyoto
to win
though,
at Toronto. Like that is like you gotta add like Butcher is gonna add so much pressure to Kyoto, and I think
Nah, fuck you,
Butta
BT. I
and
seen that, bro.
Teo-
You're under new rules. You have to play at least 4 series, so you're locked up.
Yeah, you're locked up. But like
You are
I don't know.
locked up.
For Texas, Skizzy is going to be the biggest factor for Texas. So like I think Texas will still have issues
Oh,
against.
that was a good one,
sorry,
BT. Shout out to
I
you, bro.
apologize. I think if Skizzy plays for Texas, I think Texas can really make noise.
Yo, you want to know a fun fact about Texas that I wrote
Skizzy
down
is
here?
going to be. Yeah, what's up?
Texas, I think, has 5 wins in S&D, and all 5 of their wins in S&D are all in round 11s. They only win in round 11.
Yeah.
They did it this week as well.
That's
I'm
a
pretty
crazy
sure
stat.
they lost one S&D this week. I don't know what the score was, but the ones that they won in round 11. All of Texas's search and destroy wins have come from round 11 wins, and that is no bullshit. That is fucking crazy. The boys can only win if it's tied 5-5, and the most crucial point in S&D where if I'm in a round 11, my ass is clinched of just pure fear.
Yeah. My shit is like I put duct tape on that shit. Like they're not touching that. Come on,
but like
seriously.
Texas just locks it down.
I just think a lot of I think the roster moves for Kyoto were great. I think Texas needs to play consistent with who they have with Skizzy and those guys. And Toronto is really just kind of is the one that needs to home run it. They're the ones that need to hit the home run. I think Texas and Kyoto are still actually figuring out certain things. I know that those guys have not played together besides Kyoto. That's what makes Kyoto interesting because now Toronto, again, the pedigree playing together, they know each other. It's the same boys for the most part. You add BT. BT is still a good player. I think BT you need to play BT as much as you can. I think that's gonna add. If you could somehow play
like I said,
Cope, BT, and
like I
Cope
said,
and Clouter together,
so
that is like
far when we've ran
the
our
greatest
starting
thing.
roster, which is two
Like you
maps.
need to do that.
The time that we've ran myself, Cope, BT, and G Baby was the exposure overload against Detroit, and we won 7-zip. And then we played them in the hard point afterwards. I think I don't know BT what the score was, and I'm not shitting on Detroit here, but I'm pretty sure it was like 250 to 160 something. Like the team, I have full confidence in the team with BT and Cope in the lineup. Obviously, how scheduling has gone this week. Obviously, last night against Dallas definitely didn't go the way we did. I definitely didn't play the best. BT was obviously occupied doing grand finals in another league. Obviously, the major one CDL grand finals was on, so a lot of people were focused on that as well, myself included. So, you know, 4-5 is not the end of the world. And you know what though, Feds? I don't want to. Obviously, the record for Toronto, shows that they're down the mid-table right now. But it's not giving myself self glaze. We've seen it before. We've seen it in BO6 going into Major 4. We didn't think Toronto was going to make it very far, and they ran all the way to grand finals with OVO in BO6 at the end.
Hmm.
And obviously being kickoff champions, there's a lot of work for me to figure out in the next. Well, obviously roster's locked in about 30 minutes, so there's not much more for me to figure out. I think that we can figure it out interiorly on the interior, on the inside, and yeah, I think that's just my personal thoughts on this Toronto team. I think we'll be okay. I hope so.
I think Toronto will be great. I
I
think
think we'll be
Toronto's gonna
fine.
be.
I think we're
They're
fine.
gonna be cool. I
I
think they're
think
gonna be cool.
I think when I seen BT
Um,
and Cope on the map together with myself and G Baby, we were kind of cooking, and once we had a few rough scrims, but I think coming into the final week against Bermuda and Tawana, like we really want to show that you know we deserve to be here within the top teams.
no, absolutely. I think some of these ranks on Texas were wrong as it is. I think, like, I'm not gonna say anything against. This is just my take. I don't think some of these guys on Texas are ranked properly. Like,
Yo,
I think
and end
they're
off on
ranked
Toronto Cat.
overly.
I don't mean to cut you off, but like to end off on Toronto Cat because I do gotta shout out G Baby because G Baby
But
actually has been moving as a zero recently. Like that man has actually been playing pretty good for a 0 pointer.
0.86 as a four
And
is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, no, he needs to be acknowledged
Sorry, not
because
you.
he's actually been playing good
Hell
this
yeah,
major. For a zero
he
pointer,
was.
which are hard to come by, man. Me and you've talked about multiple times on the show.
G Baby's
Your 0 and 1
pushing
pointers,
weight.
like they're your top. They're like your key players,
Yeah,
man.
G Baby's been pushing weight, man. He's
Yep.
been doing his thing.
100%. But that's the
For
last thing
sure.
I'll say about
The
Toronto. I'll let
the
you.
last thing, Toronto, I think they're so set. I think, like I said, the pedigree and the continuity is there. I will say about Texas, I think Skizzy is their best player. Skizzy and Texas can make noise. I'm just worried because I'm looking at the last two games, and you got to beat Bermuda. I think Bermuda is a team you need to beat. Skizzy had a 164. Skizzy's obviously the main guy
Look
on
at the
that team
matchups
for
they have this
Texas.
week.
And Skizzy needs to lock in. I think Lonely Dog has a .86 as a 4 pointer. He's not giving yourself enough
Texas does
support.
have a rough week though.
Phenom and Palsy. That's a tough. That's a that is a shout out Palsy and those boys, man, and Phenom. But damn, Skizzy, I'm just so you know, that's a tough. That is a tough roster to run as much as you can. You got to play Detroit and you got to play Dallas.
You got to play
When you play
Dallas.
Detroit, you got to
Yep.
play Coyote. When you play Dallas, you gotta play
Play Heck.
Stunsley
Yeah, play Heck
or
Dog.
Hack
Dog and
Dog.
Geo.
Yeah, Hack Dog and Geo. That's a tough one. You're gonna be asked to do a lot, and um, based on the
I
numbers, you
think
dropped
Texas got a really rough week coming up here. I think Texas
this
got a
dude.
rough week. With how I didn't mean to cut you off again, but obviously I think
No,
Texas
you're
and
good.
Minneapolis have the rough weeks here because I think Detroit and Dallas are definitely the top teams in that pool on Pool
Yeah.
C. Obviously Tawana and Bermuda, also two teams that are definitely confirmed to play in the play-in next week.
He.
They don't have enough to, even if they win out, I don't think they have enough to catch up to any of the teams, to catch up to
They're the
Dallas.
Saints. Yeah. No. No. Absolutely. I'm just saying, Skizzy had a 2.62 against Frijolas, and I don't know who the Frijolas are. When you drop a 2.62, I think Los had a 2.72. I mean, if you let Phenom drop a 1.4, you're playing a bad team. But I think you still beat Bermuda. I don't. I mean, it's the problem for Texas is the 4-pointer, right? Lonely Doc is just as a 4-pointer is not giving you enough. As you have Phenom and Palsy, that's a tough roster to run. You have to take. You have to be. I think for Texas, I think the players there need to be accountable
Mm,
as much as they can,
It's definitely a rough
and I
week for
think
Texas
that's
for
what it
sure.
is.
They have to
And not
win
to
out.
get checked, and not to
They
let
they have the
blame,
door.
point
The door
blame.
has opened
If
for
you could run a
them.
roster, you could run a roster, and I think that's what Texas is going to have to be as being 3-6. With I think they're tied. Who else? Who else is 3-6 in that pool? Cloud?
In our pool, Kyoto. It's them in Kyoto, and us.
Cutter? Oh shit!
Yeah, it's Kyoto.
My mic just died. Oh
Oh,
my god!
all
Hold on.
right. Well, anyways, moving on. While Feds is fixing his technical things, yeah, definitely a rough week for Texas going up against Detroit and Dallas. Detroit is definitely on a late season up and coming, same as Texas. Texas is also on the late season up and rising.
Yeah.
Dallas has confirmed their spot in. I think they're the first team to confirm have clinched for the bracket play in 2 weeks time. Obviously with a 7-2 record, Detroit at 3-6 is right behind them. Even if they win out, they'll be 5-6, so they won't be able to catch Dallas's record. So therefore, Dallas is clinched for the bracket play. They're the first team to clinch.
I
Uh,
think you trade Chili.
but what what?
I think you trade Chili.
Just coming right back to my team
I
real
think
quick.
I think you
Listen, man,
trade Chili.
Toronto
You know,
is there's gonna be some moves in
other
Toronto
than that, dude, like
in due time. There's already plans for
this.
Toronto, but I don't know if
I'm
I'm gonna
just
be able to make them in the next 30 minutes.
one
So I'm
last thing. I promise you, this is the one last thing. And I've been yapping, but there's no way my boy is dropping a point. Point six. I'm sorry. That's my boy. I
you
had to
talking about
say it, but
me?
I love you so death.
Oh,
That's my guy right there. He must have woke up from a nap, man. I'm
are you talking about
telling you.
me? Are you talking about my point six? Because I don't want to talk about my point six.
I'm sorry. I know I
I'm
lied.
pretty
I lied.
upset. I'm pretty upset about my point
I
six.
guys,
Actually,
I lied. I lied.
I was doing that up today,
I
and I
had
went,
to. I had.
oh fuck, man, I completely
I,
let my team down. Like that is
I
fucking
love my
crazy.
dude. Cloud, I dropped a .37. Like I don't even want to hear it, man. I was there, and I still can't. We can't. But I'm telling you, the point is I think the whole point, and I know you didn't want me to reveal it, but
What's that?
Toronto will come back and win games, man. The bracket in the playoffs is going to be a different breed for Toronto,
Oh,
and I think
100%.
this is where I think
I'm,
that
I'm
is
not
where it's
worried
going
about
to
our
come down.
roster. I have zero worries with roster. I'm confident with the roster that I have.
G baby,
Obviously,
even G baby, look at G baby. I love you, Chili. I'm telling you, Chili is an asset. You could smell him to someone else, man.
yep.
Give a little, you know.
But yeah, before you get super sidetracked into that, we'll get back into this. But yeah, I think Kyoto also has an easier week outside of Texas. So I mean, if Kyoto wins out here too, Feds, they could overtake Texas as well, and then make a run
I
for
think they have
Toronto as
easy
well.
games.
But
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I think Toronto's
Toronto,
week against
Bermuda. I
Bermuda
think
teams are on them.
Toronto beats Bermuda. I know. I
Yeah,
think the Riddler is gonna be the biggest issue for Toronto, but I think with Cope and Clouter, I think they bounce back.
I
I think
think
they
with
win.
I think
They
yeah
win big.
I think there's gonna be a bounce
I
back
don't think
series
they have
for
a
me.
problem.
BT's gonna
Tijuana is
be
not a problem.
BT's gonna be elite. G Baby's gonna do what G Baby does and just be
Yeah.
that support role for us. And then obviously Cope has obviously had monster series in every loss that we've had, so I'm not worried about Cope at all. Cope is elite. That was the point of bringing BT in, just to give
Yeah.
Cope a little bit of extra help, because obviously there's more work that needs to go on in the depths of myself and G Baby, but obviously G Baby's been performing, so I think that comes back to El Capitan, but El Capitan is going to lock it in the next couple weeks for sure. And I think that just locks down Pool A. Obviously, Pool C is looking good. Obviously, Dallas is clinched. Detroit coming right behind them. I can go back to the standings real quick and just see about Pool C, I think. Yeah, Pool C real quick, which is obviously Dallas at 7-2. they have clinched for bracket play. Detroit 3-6. Obviously Detroit going to the play-in round next week is going to be interesting to see though, Feds, because I think these guys will definitely make it out. I know they've been playing the last couple weeks. These guys look good as well.
Yeah, if you're talking about Dallas,
Detroit now.
Detroit. Oh yeah, no, Detroit actually has played. They played it, like I said, since the last time we spoke about them. When they were playing against Miami, they went to him at 5. It was a tough matchup. They guys have figured out ways to win, and I think right now, I think again, superstar KRE is their main player. I think they come out number 2 in this pool. I think Dallas, right, has that, the little. I'm not gonna call it like cheese or anything. More so like just business. I guess you would call it. They bought in gradual, bought in for the New York Impact, right? And we have those kind of things going into the deal. New York Impact. And by the way, shout out New York Impact, the D League. They will be coming up into the main league.
Yeah, we had to touch on that too. We had to touch on the D League. Yeah, there's a lot of information. Anyone who's hearing right now, don't. If you want to know anything about how I have to run piss fits, so I'm gonna leave the show in your lovely hands to shoot shit with chat or do
Oh,
whatever.
you're good.
'Cause I'm
Yeah.
busting for a piss, bro. Anyone that's in here right now, don't leave because shortly we're going to talk about the D League teams. We're gonna talk about the top end D League teams and
Yeah.
what we're
I'll
looking
shout
at
out.
so far for our bracketology next week because it's gonna be actually kind of crazy. But I'll
It's
let
gonna be
Feds take.
crazy.
I'm gonna let Feds take over because I am busting, bro. I'm busting.
Yeah, busting. No, you go ahead, bust. I'm
You're
gonna
good.
I'm gonna actually what E told me about the D League, so I'll read his announcement.
Oh, he sent it to you too?
Yeah. About
Okay,
the
yeah,
two
okay,
teams and all.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, you
Yeah,
sent me
yeah.
like no, man. He sent me like a whole like essay.
Oh
Oh, he
yeah.
sent
Oh,
me like in-depth stuff, bro. He sent me in-depth stuff. All right, hold on. I'm gonna piss.
well,
You take.
you're on staff, so that makes more sense.
Nah,
I'm
you're
over
chilling.
just chilling. Do
I
your
got a
thing.
boss, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, bust. Go ahead, bust. I will say this about the D League. Shout out Clouter. That's my homeboy. But I'll say this for the D League teams. We know how that we got some D League teams coming up into the main league, so that's gonna be fun, right? But I will say this: the 2 teams locked in already. Early announcement, early intel. The New York Impact D League team moving up into the main league, and then we also got the West Coast Riders coming in hot. Those 2 teams will be they will be integrated into the main league for the next major. I am super excited to see how these guys play. It's gonna be so fun. I know the West Coast Riders got some juice on them, so that'd be fun. And then I know we all know about the New York blood, the New York players
Goddamn.
and that.
Holy, that was crazy. I was
I would
busting,
say
bro.
those two teams. Yeah, you busting it quick. So that's all I'll say for the team. But I know Cloud's got a lot for the breakdown. I just told him about the 2 teams that are coming up. That's about it.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I think there's 2 confirmed teams for sure. I think E sent me that as well. There's 2 confirmed teams for sure. I'm gonna see what sent me right here, right quick. But anyways, for anyone that don't know or is new to the league and don't know how it works, obviously next week we're gonna enter a pool of death phase. Me and Feds refer mostly as pool play or the play-in. Obviously throughout the 4
The
pools that we
gauntlet,
played,
baby.
yeah, the gauntlet. So
The
obviously,
gauntlet. It's the gauntlet.
the
Like, we
standings you've
coming out here
seen,
firing.
if the standings you've seen on screen on the pod over the last hour. Some of them may be incorrect because I thought generally they were by map count. We learned midway through the pod that they're head to head. That's my apologies. 7 has an updated one in the CxP graphic room in the Discord right now. That is probably more correct. Based off of that, though, still, the teams that are confirmed to be playing in the pool play next week, because obviously if you win your pool, if you place first in your pool, so if you're first in pool A, B, C, or D, you get a bye into the bracket play, and then the bracket play is technically the final major one tournament playoffs, which will be for the prize pool. I don't know what the prize pool is. I'm pretty sure there is one. If I'm wrong, please someone at the upper up tables correct me so I don't get everyone excited that there's a prize pool. But I'm pretty sure there's a prize pool this major because where everyone is bought in. But yeah, the teams playing in the play-in for next week for sure is going to be Detroit Reign, Bermuda Bloodline, Tawana Free Jewels, or however it's pronounced. Obviously the Minneapolis Monarchs and the Absolute Reign. Those teams are without a doubt confirmed
What?
to be played in the play-in next week.
What?
Even if they win
Oh
out, they won't be
yeah.
able to catch the first place team in their respectable divisions. And obviously, I've mentioned that throughout the pod. Feds with a big reaction. I love that out of you. That was crazy.
What? That's
Uh,
insane. Oh my god.
so those teams
What?
me and Fets will definitely be looking at next week.
Are you?
Obviously,
I'm here Monday next week talking about it. You're out of your mind. It's insane. That I'm sorry, but holy,
and then
we're already confirmed.
down in the
Oh,
D League, obviously, and then from that, a new addition to this major will be that the D League, the top 4 teams in D League, which I will go over shortly, they will come up and play in the pool of death, or the pool play, or the play in, with the CxP main roster teams, and they will fight for their shot to get into the bracket play. Now, whatever teams get into bracket play, they are confirmed. They will be the teams moving on into Major 2. If you don't make it out of pool play, which will be next week, so if you place last, if you don't win all your games, and do like previews and stuff. Yeah, absolutely 7. Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. But
what the fuck? That's
obviously,
insane.
so obviously the 4 D League teams will come up. They'll play for their spot in the CxP. So it's
Oh,
big games for the D League teams.
dude, that is do or die. That
So
is
there's like
like,
regulation games
come
next week.
on,
So
man.
me and Feds, I'm hopefully gonna have graphics of it all made up. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So then everyone will see it next week. It's gonna be a big episode for us next week. We're gonna shoot down over it. We're gonna see all the teams in their respective pools fighting it out to try to get into the Major 1 final bracket
Dude,
thing. Playoffs, which will be for the prize pool. So the D League teams will go on. As of right
dude.
now, as it stands, as what Eraz has sent me, obviously New York Impact D League team is 6-0 with an 18-0 map count. They do have three forfeit wins though. In second is going to be the West Coast Riders. They're 5-1 with an 18-5 map count. They're apparently the best team in the D League right now.
Yeah.
Coming in at third is going to be the East Coast Bandits, which are 4-2 with a 12-8 map count. Absolute Rain, shout out Stubler, running the number 4 spot with
Stubby.
3-3. The overall squad's apparently Noah, Spider, Hypnotic, and Sharpie, and Bandit. Uh, when I heard those names, those are some pretty high up names that played
That
in
you gotta
CxP
win that.
Reform. So that's
Yeah.
also a pretty stacked team. The Plattsburgh Pebbles are right behind them in fifth. With Diz, with frontrunner MVP of Diz leading the way with 1.61 KD.
Whew.
F8L is riding in sixth place with a 3-4. Texas Academy is 2-4. LA Vandals is 2-4. Bermuda Academy is 2-4, and Boston Blitz is 0-6. 0-8 map count, had to forfeit both weeks due to map
God.
changes. But now Malias and Revive on the team looking to turn it around. So as of right now, it's looking like we're going to see the New York Impact Academy come up. So Eraz, Bear, Roomba, and the boys will be coming up in the pool play next week. So I know that's that's on the roster for sure. The West Coast Riders, I don't know who's on that team. I think Chapo was on that team. So they will definitely be coming up and playing for sure. East Coast Bandits, depending on how this week goes for them, I guess they may also be able to come play up. And then in between Absolute Rain and Plattsburgh Pebbles, they're going to be fighting it for that fourth and final spot.
Yeah, they're gonna
Unless
go last
F8L
minute.
has a complete massive and they win both matches this week and go 5-4 and they take that fourth spot. So
Yeah, all I know, Big Benny Dog is on that FAL, so hopefully,
big veiny dog, yeah. So
yeah,
I
it's
think next
all
week, Fitz, we're gonna be looking at Plattsburgh, AR Academy, F8L, West Coast and
cool.
West Coast Riders, and the East Coast Bandits, and then we'll obviously have the return of the New York Impact Academy team.
Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna go about once it ends. I think they're gonna stay in New York Impact and kind of go through. I think maybe West Coast Riders is gonna be there. You said how many teams go through? Four.
4. So it's the top 4 D
Four.
League teams. So there's gonna be 4
Yeah.
pools next week too, right? So
Yeah.
obviously, pretty much what we're
Oh,
doing,
so they're
you're
gonna.
replacing the first place team with D League teams.
Right. So you're.
But
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
gonna be a pool scramble. So obviously Detroit. So obviously
Right.
like if you
So
look a lot up for everyone else on screen, because I'm pretty easy. Like obviously if you see these teams on screen here. So for example, Dallas Abyss is in. So they take Dallas Abyss out and then put a D League team in. But technically
yeah.
they're
Right.
also gonna scramble these 3 teams as well.
Scramble it.
So
Right.
not
Mhm.
Detroit, Bermuda, and Toronto will be playing.
Dude, that's gonna be
They may
insane.
have to play each other again next week. They may not. It depends how the higher corporate staff does the pools and how they
That's
automatically
fucking
figure out their
nuts.
seedings. So yeah, next week is going to be a super big one. Obviously we'll have the introduction of D League teams. I know I've already been talking to Feds about getting back in the booth and casting some of these matches because I mean I think next week we should definitely make an aim to cast some because I want to see some of these D League teams play these main league teams. You know,
Well, any
just to
matches
see.
tonight, I will absolutely cast. If you guys are playing.
I think if a D League team makes it to bracket play, I think New York Impact Academy will just because I don't think Eraz is down there. He's building teams. He knows what's good. He wants to get back up here for Major 2, so I think we'll see New York Impact be playing in the Major 1 bracket just because you have Eraz, you have Bear, you got Roomba. A lot of BO6 top talent there that we've seen in BO6, you know. The boys definitely can figure it out and come back up as well.
I will say this: it's the coolest thing to see, like your D League, like some of your friends, like just playing the D League and shit. So I think that's the coolest thing. Like I said, the pathway is cool. Excited. Like I said, Clouter here. Clouter and I are here for a lifetime. So you
Yep.
know we will see these guys come play in the Major 2 and
And
compete. So
I'm gonna
it's gonna be the
post this
coolest
up
thing to see.
now before we get towards the end of our pod here, obviously, because we're not. I'm gonna put up the YouTube that if you guys want to watch all the VODs. I think one thing that me and Feds have slacked on, well, since we've had Eraz on for guests as our guest, we're gonna try to fix that and try to get more people on. It's kind of weird with that stuff because, me and Feds want to bring some people on, but at the same time, me and Feds get on, man, and we kind of ramble for like an hour or
Yeah, we
even
just talk a lot
longer,
of shit.
man, and I don't want to make the podcast like 3 hours long at times too, because I don't feel like we need to do that. But yeah, we're definitely gonna try to get some guests on and make sure they're the right guests too at the right time. So and obviously with everyone's schedules, obviously we're not all able to be here at the same time. So we'll work some stuff out. But if not, you have the pleasure of hearing myself and Feds because we'll be here every Monday regardless.
Oh hell yeah!
Um, Uh, I think there was something else I was going to mention. Oh, another thing I'll mention just on behalf of the league, because just so I'm also going to shout out Fets in the chat to give him some love and
Oh,
support.
no.
'Cause that's
Look,
the
Pop.
goat. Obviously, I'll mention it because I know it got announced, but in case anyone hasn't known, obviously there's new rules with the with free agents. If no one has heard that yet, obviously, I'm trying to fucking find it here. I'm struggling to find the tab of league rules. Anyways, there's new rules with eSubs. So obviously, when you find an eSub now, anyone from CxP, if you're looking for an eSub, you can't take anyone in the CxP roster at all. You have to take from D League or free agents. D League players you can take within the D League and free agents as well. So I think it's just restricting the CxP. It's making it a lot more tighter teams. So
I like
uh,
that.
watch
I
when you're
like
building
that a
your
lot.
roster, making some more stability with your roster, which I also enjoy more.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that rule. It's the best
There
rule I've
was
seen
other
so
stuff
far.
there as well
Holy.
with pointers. I'm fucking man. I'd seen this earlier, and the fact that I can't find it. Oh, here we go. I have found it. Yeah, so now there's a new implementation of roster committee rule. When a team signs a player, that player is locked for 2 weeks or 4 games. Team releasing a player without valid reasoning will lose points. I'm assuming that's in the standings, overall standings. And player self-dropping before the minimum requirement will regain 4-game suspension. So for anyone watching, when you sign up for a team, just make sure you're there for 4 games. You're basically signing a 4-game contract before you can get pissed off and
Gosh,
self-drop.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yep.
BT, I know you're joking about leaving, but you're locked up for 2 more games, buddy. So don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, all the same, I like them. I like it. I like having more stability because uh, it gives us here, especially Feds, when we're doing team stats, at least makes the team stats more
Yeah, we don't want people wild,
makes it more
people are
accurate to the
just
team. You know what I
e-subbing
mean? It makes it
like
more
all the
accurate to
time.
the team because I feel like if
Yeah.
everyone's switching out now, like you know what I mean? It's like Texas, like for example, you have Bermuda have an 0-2 week and then have a ton of roster changes and then they'll go like 4-1, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh
that's what I was
shit, bro.
saying. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So it gives it a little bit more
100%.
stability. But yeah, I think we jump right into your segment now, bro. That always closes out our show. My favorite session, my favorite fucking section of this podcast. To be honest, I fucking love this. I
Ah,
fucking love
damn.
this fucking segment. It's my favorite. I'm so glad
I'm
we
telling you
do it.
not.
And
Ah,
you
I
know,
love this,
and
man.
whenever you're ready, bro, you fucking take it away. It's the Fets A list.
Just want to say thank you so much, Clouter, for putting this on, man. You are the greatest. You are the GOAT. Shout out everybody in the chat. Please give Clouter so much dope because he is the man behind all this, man. For real. But here we are. You know, we are going into week 6, and it's still a mixture of what we had last. But I will say this: we are going right into it. Fets A list number 5. It's going to be the North. OVO. You know, they had a tough week. You know, they played in Miami, and Stanford wasn't looking good. Paris wasn't looking good. Well, they beat Stanford, but Paris wasn't looking good. You know, and I think the Stanford game was a tough roster for Stanford. So now, like, you know, they lost. They got whooped by Paris, and they got whooped by Miami. So what do they have left? They got to be able to make some type of noise for the next couple of matches. And I think Michigan and whoever they have left is where it's going to be. And I think they will be able to clean it up. But missing 7 and missing the continuity there for OVO is a big problem. But I had to bring them down. That match last night was insane. OVO number 5. And here we go, number 4, Paris. Why Paris number 4? Well, dude, they beat OVO. And they also, that boy and Kane is still a really good matchup. I think they're still a really good duo. You know, they've let me down a couple of times, but if they're consistent, they are right there with Los and Zorbs. And I'm telling you, and I think that leads me right into number 3, New Jersey. You know, New Jersey, they might be the best team right now. Possibly. Compared to Stanford, I think they give Stanford the run for their money. I wouldn't be surprised if Jersey comes out hard and wins Major 1. That's how much I have confidence in New Jersey. That is my confident level of New Jersey. And I said, and listen, I had confidence in BO6, right? That Major 4, we did bracketology and we had New Jersey coming up. But listen, New Jersey is the best search and destroy team out there. They are not going to lose in a search and destroy. They are beating you by rounds. They're not even beating you by numbers, and they're still beating you by numbers even so. And I think they need to keep honoring that with Zorbs and Los, and I think they need to build a connection. I think they have it with Reason, and I think Reason is still on top of this. He cares about this league, and I think that's what it comes down to. And I think they have something special there. This could be a run for the money, and I'm telling you that right now. New Jersey is playing with house money right now. Number 2, we're gonna hop right into it. Is gonna be Miami Vice. Miami had a hot win last night over. Why is it why it's gonna be Miami? I mean, it's a dude. I mean, when you're led by the Knuckle himself, I mean, he gives you the bruising, you know. And I think at the end of the day, Knuck, being the 5-pointer he is, I think he still has issues sometimes with his young pointers. And I think the young pointers need to step it up a little bit. And I think they did what they did against OVO last night. I think that was one of the best wins they've had. And they needed that momentum. I think they carry that momentum throughout. They have a tough matchup this week with New Jersey. And I believe it's someone else that's pretty strong as well. I believe it's Paris or someone else. So they're gonna have a tough matchup. But Miami has shown enough grit. Still undefeated in Mat 5s. They have not lost a Mat 5 yet. We have to get there. And I promise you, New Jersey will figure it out because these guys have shown the most resilience out of most teams. And I think the last one for number one is self-explanatory. It's got to be Stanford. I mean, uh, Stanford. I mean, right here. I mean, is it Stanford, Connecticut? Is that? I mean, I live right there. I'm like 30 minutes from, so I'm right there. I'm meeting up. Everybody that I have talked to, they have said that they are so locked in. Leo, Backdoe is probably the best player right now in this league. Backdoe is the best player in this league right now. And if he's not the best, he's my favorite player to watch right now. I think that is ultimately what it comes down to. He has adapted to this game better than anybody in VO7. And I think that's what it really comes down to. Leo and some of these guys on Stanford have meshed well. I don't know how Gelato comes back into the mixture to see how that mixes up certain things, but right now, Stanford has 11-1 record in HP. They're the best hardpoint game. They lead, and they might have went down. And I think this and D, but they are the number one. They're like the best Overlord team. They're the best hardpoint team. These guys have played so well. They're the best team right now to beat. They are the team to beat. And I think it's solidified a little bit more. Now we're going to week 6. But week 6 is going to be interesting now when OVO and Miami is going to play New Jersey, right? OVO is going to play Michigan. So we're going to see how things go. But as of right now, this is my top 5. I have nothing else to it. I think that's a pretty solid top 5. I think there's this whole top 5 is a different tier from a lot of the midsection, and I think there's certain things to it. That you have a high pointer on a team that is really taking up a lot of responsibility, but we'll see how much of these mid-tier sections that do have high pointers will take up coming up the next weeks. But this is what I have. I think this is what we finish with. I think New Jersey goes up. I think New Jersey goes up next week, and I think
if they win,
Stanford stays.
Yeah, I mean, fucking
yeah.
bro. You forgot the why,
I think,
man. You weren't excited, man. I was waiting
why?
for the why.
Why? Nah. I did one of those. I was dude. I was so locked in. I had notes. I was reading notes. I was doing this. So
Go.
I
But
was
yeah,
a little too locked.
as is there, ladies and gents, man. That's Fets' A-list for the week, though.
Why?
Why? No, elite, bro. But
I
yeah,
love you, bro. That's great.
Yeah, no, that pretty much concludes another week, man. Stanford is looking high and mighty right now. Cope is right. The real pool of death is Pool A. Pool A is kind of the sheer pool this major, but you know, we'll hopefully Toronto can survive Pool A. But anyways, I know Colin with the follow, Chevy with the follow. Thanks, boys, for the dropping the follows. Absolutely appreciate you, boys. But yeah, no offense. Next week's gonna be a big one.
It's gonna be a hefty one. We're gonna. This is still a little hefty.
This is what we get excited for like every time it's this time of year, because now in the next 2 weeks we're gonna super playoffs, you know, big matches. We got to get in the booth. We got to dust off the couches.
The bracketology is gonna be wild. Bracketology. I'll tell you what. What's up, Reg? What's up, Perkazoid? The man, I gotta get Perk on here, man. The Perkazoid himself. Nah, but I gotta be honest with you though, Clouter. Like once bracketology comes, we're gonna have so much fun because I can't wait.
I can't wait to have fun.
I can't wait.
Man.
It's gonna be next week. We're gonna. I believe we're gonna have a special guest. I think we already locked him in. I think we have an idea of what we're gonna go towards. He said he's ready, so please cross your fingers and make sure everything.
Yeah,
no one leaves. No next thing I know, he's on another team. Yep. It's like, please. I mean, we want you guys to stay on your same team. And
next week's gonna be a fucking doozy, man. It's gonna be a big one. And then the week after that will be the bracket one, and then the week after that we'll congratulate our team winner, and then it's gonna be into, I guess, roster mania from Major 1 to Major 2.
Yeah,
and then we jump right into Major 2, man. And me and Fets got some big things planned for Major 2. Hopefully we're planning on dusting down the booth again and get back into booth permanently. I want to start doing
we're gonna touch roster mania. We're doing roster mania, but we're gonna try to do like a we're trying to do is we're gonna attempt to do a thing where like we can kind of guess where people are going, maybe have our own kind of ideas of what teams might look like, and going into Major 2. If we can if the timing
Yep.
works out, that was my plan. Where we could do like
we went
crazy
through-
teams. Like
went
this
through
guy
the-
goes here and they're a super team. Or like this
Yep.
guy goes here and
Oh,
they're
100%.
balanced. Like something like that. That's what I was trying to go for. But we'll see how the timing works. I think once we see because we know what roster mania Clouter looks like in here. It's like we wake up and like
goes crazy,
one
man.
guy went to 3 different teams in like 5 hours. It's insane. So we'll see how it goes. It might be tough to do
Well,
roster
I know
mania,
for a
but
fact me and you are definitely trying to get back into boost. So I think there's gonna be something in
Oh,
the works
yeah.
for Major 2. That's
well
gonna
tonight
help that as
if
well.
you want to do it. If you
Paris and Vegas.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Are you?
I already
If you're
claimed
there,
it. Yeah,
have you? Okay. All right. Don't stop.
8:40.
Bro. Don't stop my seat, bro.
Yep, let's do it. I figure why not.
Yep. No, 100%.
I'm just drinking a
What you
little
missed,
bit,
man? Not a whole lot, man. Dallas Abyss is clinched for the bracket play in 2 weeks' time, so they won't be playing in pool play. Pool B is pretty tight between every team that's there. Pool A is the pool of death. Every team is negative. Toronto's still holding the lead for the time being. And then in Pool D is Miami. I think Miami's leading the way. I think Miami's a series win away from clinching their pool as well and skipping the pool play next week. We talked about the D leagues that are probably coming up. Briefly. Power rankings were talked about earlier, but man, there's a whole in depth, Reggie. You're gonna have to go back.
I think
Stan, man, is when the VOD goes up on the YouTube, go back and give it a listen. Bro.
I think Perk. I could tell you right now, Perk. The top 5 I had Stanford at 1, Miami 2, Jersey 3, OVO. Paris 4, and OVO 5. So
OVO 5.
That was like my top 5 right now. Stanford, Miami, Jersey, Paris, OVO. Right now, I think that's the guy. I think it's like college top 10, and now it was like 12 teams now in CFB, right? Like, holy shit. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing this. Let that top 5. Yeah, that's my top 5. Like, percent. Like, it has to go down like that. It has to be.
And obviously next week is the juicy one. We jump back into the pool play, and that's gonna be a big one. So try not to miss that one. That will obviously we'll be talking with D League teams then, bro. We'll have to do our research on some D League squads and see who's there.
We'll do a little D League action. We'll get them a little integrated in here as much as we can, So
the next 2 weeks are gonna be league, and then it's roster mania, and then we're up in the Major 2, and then obviously more stuff coming on me and Fet's side for the league because. I don't know, man. I enjoy shooting shit about the league with you, bro. It's elite.
Dude, I love doing this. We went overboard, but this is. I mean, this is actually a perfect time. This is actually a pretty solid time,
Man, I love Mondays at like 4 or 5 p.m. EST, bro. I get to kick back, slam a few beers.
I got my, dude. The lights are a little dim. I got my candles lit. I'm over here chilling. Like it's
I think the only
nice
thing
little
I would wish
vibe,
is that my team was a little bit better, so we could both glaze both our teams a little bit. Because obviously we glaze Miami a lot more nowadays than Toronto. But don't worry,
I give Toronto my. I give
Toronto my. Get their get back, bro.
They will get their get back. I like I said, I think they win games later on. I think that's what it comes down to, and I think Cope needs to settle down a little bit as their best player. I think he's where he's supposed to be.
Keep doing what Cope's doing.
I don't think he needs to freak out or be upset about anything. I think he needs, like I said, he's a younger player, so he needs, and I think his emotions will come through it. But I think Cope still figures out as a superstar because Cope is a superstar. He is a superstar.
100%.
But it's not. But also Clouter is also a superstar. Like G Baby has also ascended.
Okay.
Clouter has ascended. No, I'm saying as the rankings,
in quotation marks, superstar.
Yeah, dude, I had a .37 against Stanford, man. But
true.
Hey, my boy Perk, man, came through that last I don't know what it was. I shot bots. I shot 400 bots. I stopped at 400 because Park said don't get too burnt out.
Damn.
So I said, all right. It was like 2 hours before. No, I had to. I've been gooping all day. I just play Arc Raiders, so you gotta think about it. Like I'm sitting there like playing Arc all day. Like I'm just either camping in one spot or I'm running at people with the Stitcher 4.
Yeah.
And then like no, I'm chilling at the end of the day, like or a Toro 2 or some shit. Like you know what I mean? Like they're like I'm in with a store, but like at this point, like the COD is totally different. Like I don't know call outs and everything.
That's
like
true.
there's no call out to Arc.
Also,
It's like it's just
Capshot, man, we're literally just about to clue up, man. You kind of missed it, man. So you just have to go back and watch the VOD or watch the VOD on
I just
YouTube,
gotta
bro.
play. I gotta play more. I gotta play more COD. That's really it is. And I just sat
bro,
there
me
and
too, man.
I sat on
listen,
Blackheart for
listen.
like 400 bots, man. That was it.
Listen, ranked
That's what
on
helped me.
Thursday. What are you doing Saturday night?
This Saturday?
Yeah. Before we go.
Nothing. Nothing. I mean, it
think
depends.
Saturday night, I think Saturday night we go live and do a big rank play with us.
You wanna do it?
Me and
I'm
you,
so
we'll
bad.
grab 2 other
Alright,
guys
fuck
from
it.
CxP, man, and we'll do a big rank play night.
All right, fine.
Beers.
Fuck it.
Get
I'll
on
do
the
it.
beers.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Cause I'll finish my homework Thursday and do all that shit done.
We'll do a
That way
big
I
draw
can
on
just
Saturday
chill on
night,
the
man.
weekend.
Big stream.
All right, cool.
We'll do like
Yeah, I'm down.
stuff like that, man. We'll find 2 other
Yeah.
dudes. If anyone in the chat wants to squad up, man, let us know, bro. We'll take some squads and then we'll run through, man. We'll do some trade games, have a fun night.
Let's do it.
Let's do that Saturday, 100%.
Let's do it. We'll find 2 other
Anyways,
places, yeah.
I don't have anything else to add.
Nah, I'm good, man. I just love you, bro. That's
Yeah,
it.
man. Oh, you too.
Love
bro.
everybody that came through in the chat, came through and just
We did
wild
cap shot,
and
we did
wild
cap
out and vibed out. Cap shot, what's up, bro? Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all see I'm on OVO now? Well, yeah.
Big week for you guys. Talked about it
A big
earlier.
week.
Anyways,
Yeah, you did that.
But yeah, I have nothing else to say. Fets don't have anything else to say. Peace and love.
I'm gonna make some pizza. Love you guys. I'm gonna make some pizza bagels and
We'll be back
I'll
next
pay
week.
some. And 8:40 tonight, Paris, Las Vegas.
We'll be there.
8:40, Paris, Las Vegas.
All
Get ready.
boys.
But I love you guys. Have a good night.
Peace.